distinguished guest speaker for today's session, Dr. Pooja N. Ma'am is currently Ma'am is currently serving at Rajashekharaya Institute of Ayurvedic Medical Science and Hospital. She has previously worked as assistant professor in the Department of Samhita and Siddhanta at Prakriti Ayurvedic Medical College and Hospital, Chitradurga. Ma'am has completed her post-graduation at the prestigious STM College of Ayurveda and Hospital, Hassan. With a keen interest in Samhita studies and research, Ma'am has actively presented papers at reputed platforms including the Global Ayurveda Fest 2023. Ma'am has also given expert talks on Ayush TV on the topics like Swastyakagi Panchakarma and Swastyakagi Abhyanga, spreading awareness of Ayurveda to wider public. An enthusiastic scholar, researcher, and teacher, Ma'am continues to inspire young minds while contributing significantly to the field of Ayurveda. Today, she'll guide us through the essentials of Charaka Samhita Sharirasthana, shedding light on its profound concepts and relevance in modern times. Without further ado, let us warmly welcome Dr. Pooja Ma'am. Ma'am, over to you.
Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. So let us start the session with a prayer. गुणत्रयविभेदेन मूर्तित्रयमुपेयुषे त्रयी भुवे त्रिनेत्राय त्रिलोकीपतये नमः सरस्वत्यै नमो यस्य प्रसादात् पुण्यकर्मभिः बुद्धिदर्पणसङ्क्रान्तं जगदध्यक्षमीक्ष्यते ब्रह्मदक्षाश्विदेवेश भरद्वाज पुनर्वसु हुताशवेशचरकप्रभृतिभ्यो नमो नमः पातञ्जलमहाभाष्य चरकप्रतिसंस्कृतैः मनोवाक्कायदोषाणां हर्तेः पतये नमः Namaste, everyone. So, I'm Dr. Pooja N, Assistant Professor, Department of Samhita and Siddhanta. So, if everyone is ready, shall we just start the session?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So, today we'll be learning in detail about Sharira Sthana for AIAPGET. So learning Samhita is very beautiful, but when you learning Samhita has different ways. For example, if you want to gain the knowledge about Samhita for clinical practice, you have to study in a different way, and more of your you should have the knowledge about clinical side and how to apply the principles in patient. That should be your way of thinking, and your goal should be that. And next, coming to teaching, you have to study in detail about tikas, and you have to analyze the concept, and then you have to start teaching. This is two way of learning. First one, for clinical practice, you have to have the knowledge about the concept, and you have to think how to apply in patient. Next one is, for teaching, you should have thorough knowledge about Samhita as well as Tika, and analysis should be there, and how to approach and how to teach to young minds. In that regard, you have to work out. And on coming to now, that is how to learn Samhita for your entrance exam. So there is a different way of learning Samhita for AIA PGT. That is, so I'll be just telling few tips, okay, how to study Samhita for entrance exam. First of all, you should know that there will be around 45 to 50 questions in the question paper. Like every year, when you just see the question paper, you'll get 45 to 50 questions from all the Samhitas. Okay, so that is why like 50% is covered in Samhita. So you should have the knowledge of Samhita very well in order to crack AIA PGET. Next one is, root map of all the chapters should be known. That is, when you just go start studying samhita. For example, if you take first chapter of charaka samhita, so in that chapter what all should be known? So you should know all the concept which is covered in the chapter very well, and what is the route map to each and every chapter of all the samhita should be known. You should not miss any point. Next one is why you should have the knowledge about all the concept which is covered in each and every samhita. Because you have to crack the assertive type of question, which is a new type of question which is introduced like few, like for around 4 to 5 years. When you see the question papers, they have included these type of questions also. This will be very tricky to answer, and it will take your time. Like you have to take maximum number of maximum amount of time to crack assertive type of questions. So for that you should have the knowledge of samhita. Hence you should have like thorough knowledge about each and every concept which is explained in samhita, and all the samhitas you should have. So next point is revision is the key to score high. That means you have to, it is not only about studying the concept of samhita, you should revise it very well. For example, my mentor used to say that you should have a formula of 0 3 7 21. So this is the formula for revision. What is it? For example, if you start studying first chapter of charaka samhita today, that is 0th day. So today is day 0, you started studying first chapter. Next on third day, you'll be covering like further chapter, first chapter, second chapter, and third chapter. But on third day you have to revise again first chapter very well, and then you have to continue. Next like that you have to cover, like on seventh day, how much ever you have gone, like continued studying samhita further chapters. But still on seventh day, before seventh day, what all has been covered in samhita, like chapter, you have to study again on seventh day, like that on 21st day. So like this you can keep intervals of time, regular intervals of time, in order to do the revision of each and every chapter. Next step is you have to solve maximum number of questions. That is, you have to start from chapter wise. You have studied first chapter, then you have to solve the questions of first chapter. Then you have to go sthana wise, and then you have to go samhita wise, solving the question paper. So this is like few tips for learning samhita for AIAPGET. Coming to the number of questions that will be asked, for around out of 100%, you will have four types of question. That is assertion reasoning. Next one is match the following kind of question. Next is one liner, and last one is statement kind of question. First one, coming to the statement kind of question, that is they will give two statements. Out of those they'll give options. For example, they'll give statement A, statement B. Options will be whether statement A is correct, statement B is incorrect, both statements are correct. So like this they'll give four options. So this type of questions will be around 27%. Next, coming to the one liner, these are simple questions like fill in the blanks kind of questions. So there will be around 42% of question out of 100 one liner kind of questions. Next is match the following kind of questions. They'll ask only 10% match the following kind of questions. Next one is assertion reasoning kind of question. There will be 21% of questions will be asked for assertion reasoning. Okay, so you should have the knowledge about kind of question that will be asked also. Next slide, please. Okay. Coming to the today's content, that is Sharira Sthana. So in Sharira Sthana, we have 8 chapters. Before going into the Sharira Sthana, what all has been covered in previous sthanas, that is Sutra Sthana, Nidana Sthana, and Vimana Sthana is covered. In Sutra Sthana, you will learn about basic principles of Ayurveda in brief, and in Nidana Sthana, regarding Nidana Panchakas of Ashtamahagada, you will be studying. Next, in Vimana Sthana, they'll give in detail like knowledge, Vishesha Jnana of Rasa and Dhosha Bheshajadi aspects. And after learning all those things, you have to start treatment. So before starting the treatment, you should have the knowledge about Adhikarana of Chikitsa. That is, the Adhikarana of Chikitsa is Sharira. So in order to study about Sharira, they have explained Sharira Sthana. So in Sharira Sthana, you'll have 8 chapters. Among them, for entrance exam, when you see the question paper of previous year, you will observe that except third and fifth chapter, All the chapters are very important. It is not like you don't have to study third and fifth chapter. You have to study, but you have to you can just less focus on these chapters, and apart from these two chapters, third and fifth chapter, other chapters you should be very thorough. Next slide. Okay, coming to the first chapter of Sharira Sthana, that is Katidha Purushiya Shariram Adhyaya. So here, the chapter itself, the name of the chapter itself tells that there will be questioning about Purusha and the things which are related to the Purusha. It heals. Acharya start narrating all the aspect about Purusha. So the first question, there will be total number of questions that are present in this chapter are 23 number of questions are present. Kathida Purushiya Sharira, that is Purusha Bheda based on Dhatu, he'll be starting, and then he'll be, the ending we'll just see on further slides, okay? So all the questions are related to only three aspects, that is Purusha, Atma and Vedana. Next slide, please. Okay. From shloka number 3 to shloka number 15, there is the Acharya enlist all the 23 questions. Next shloka is 16th and 17th shloka. So in this, so the first question will be answered. That is Purusha Bheda based on Dhatu Bheda. So Purusha Bheda, there are three types of Purusha, that is Shadhatvatmaka, Ekadhatvatmaka and Chaturvimshatika Purusha. So here what you have to remember is Purusha Bheda, these numbers you have to remember, Shadhatvatmaka, Ekadhatu and Chaturvimshatika. These numbers you have to remember, and this can be asked as one liner. For example, how many Purusha Bheda are there based on Dhatu? So that the options will be given as 6, 124 or else 5, 120 like that. So you have to select 6, 124 or else individual can be asked in the exam. For example, Shed Dhatvatmaka Purusha is explained in which chapter? Likewise, reference can also be asked. And one more type of question that can be asked is Shed Dhatvatmaka Purusha includes dash entities, that is components of Shed Dhatvatmaka Purusha. So it includes Kha Adaya and Chetana Dhatu. So this should be remembered. That is Kha Adi, all the Mahabhuta plus Chetana Dhatu. Next, Eka Dhatvatmaka Purusha, likewise. All the three types of question can be asked. Either number can be asked or else the component of Shadhatvatmaka or Ekadhatvatmaka. What is the component? That can also be asked in the exam. And comparative study of this is, according to Sushruta and Sankhya Darshana, we see 25 tattva, whereas in Charaka we see only 24 tattva. What is extra that is mentioned by Sushruta and Sankhya Darshana is Purusha. Purusha is considered as separate entity according to Sushruta and Sankhya, whereas Charaka he will not consider it as separate. So this can also be asked, the difference between Sushruta and Acharya Charaka. Next slide, please. Next. So in next shloka, they have enlisted the Lakshana, Guna, Vishaya and Karma of Manas. So first of all, you should know the numbers, okay? First one is Lakshana of Manas. So the Lakshana of Manas is only two, Jnanasya Bhava and Jnanasya Abhava. You have to remember these two terms, okay? Next, the number of Lakshana are two. Both of those can be asked. For example, what are the Lakshana of Manas is Jnanasya Bhava, Jnanasya Abhava. So like this, they can ask, or else number of Mano Lakshana is how many? That is 2, 3, 4, like that also can be asked. Next, coming to the Guna of Manas. There are only two Gunas of Manas, and that can also be asked, the number, or else what are the Gunas of Manas? Anutva and Ekatva. That can also be asked. Next, coming to the Vishaya. How many Manovishaya? That is number of Manovishaya. There are 5. These 5 also, the name of Manovishaya should also be remembered. That is Chintya, Vicharya, Uhya, Dhyaya and Sankalpa. These things should also be remembered. Next, coming to the Mano Karma, there are 4. This number is also important. Indriyabhigraha, Swasya Nigraha, Uhya and Vicharya. These are the 4 karma. So here, one more question is, that is statement kind of question regarding Manovishya and Manokarma. That is Vicharya and Uhya are what? That is whether it is Manovishaya, Manokarma, Manolakshana, Manovishaya, like that they can ask. It is Manovishaya and Manokarma. These two are similar. Okay, this also very important. You have to remember. Next slide, please. Okay. Next, coming to the 22nd shloka, that is, here they have explained Jnanotpatti Krama. So, here comes the importance of Samhita reading. That is, so in exam, in previous question paper, they have asked Indriye, this line, the first pada of 22nd shloka is asked directly in the exam. Okay, so this you have to remember. Indriyena indriyarthohi sa manaskena grihyate. This reference is telling what? So like this they have asked. It is telling about what? Jnanotpatti krama. This you have to remember. First pada and what it is telling. Next shloka they have explained Pancha Karmendriya. So Pancha Karmendriya, what are Pancha Karmendriya? That also you have to remember the names. And then, so here Pancha Karma Indriya and their karma also they have explained. According to Charaka, that is karma of Hasta is Grahana, Pada is Gamana, Guda and Upasta is Visarga, Vak Indriya is Vak. So whereas in Sushruta there is difference, that is regarding Hasta and Upasta, the karma of Hasta and Upasta, Sushruta has explained different. That is Hasta karma is Adana as per Sushruta. Upasta karma is Harsha or Ananda as per Sushruta. So you have to remember the comparative study of Charaka and Sushruta regarding Karmendriya and its karma. This can be asked for match the following or else for statement. Okay, for one liner also they can ask. Next slide, please. Next shloka is about Mahabhuta Guna. So this can be asked for match the following. So it is very simple. How many Mahabhuta? 5 Mahabhuta and their Guna, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. This can be asked for match the following kind of question. Next is the reference can be asked. Bhutantara Gunanu Pravesha is given in which chapter? So you have to remember it is given in Charaka Sharira, first chapter. Okay, this can be asked for reference. Next, they have told about Mahabhuta Lakshana. So these Lakshanas are Asadharana Lakshana. So this word can be asked in the exam. That is Asadharana Mahabhuta Lakshana is what? The reference can be asked, or else Asadharana Lakshana of individual Mahabhuta can also be asked. Asadharana Lakshana of Akasha Mahabhuta is what? Dash, they'll give fill in the blanks kind of question. So that is Apratighata. So you have to remember Mahabhuta and Lakshana. Akasha, Apratigata is the Lakshana. Vayu, Chala, Agni, Ushna, Ap, Drava, Prithvi, Kara. So among these, only two are very important because they have like, there is a unique term. Okay, for example, Akasha Mahabhuta, the Lakshana is Apratighata. Apratighata is the Lakshana of dash Mahabhuta. Like this they can ask. So you have to remember it is Akasha Mahabhuta. Likewise, Prithvi Mahabhuta also that can be asked. These two are asked in previous year exam question paper. Okay, you have to remember all these things. Next slide. Okay. So they have explained artha. That is, how many artha are there? 5 artha. Those things you have to remember. It is very easy. Next, Buddhi Nirupana. So in Buddhi Nirupana, what you have to remember is the word Manobhava. Buddhi is Manobhava. So the term Manobhava is related to what? That is Buddhi. This is asked in previous year exam paper. So here one more thing is Sushruta, he tells Atma is Manojava. Manojava word is different. Manobhava is different. Manojava is related to Atma, whereas Manobhava is related to Buddhi. This you have to remember, these two differences. Next, they have told about Buddhi Beda. So here they can ask assertion kind of question. What is the assertion kind of question that can be asked? That is, why there is Beda of Buddhi? That is, Buddhi Beda is because of dash. It is because of what? The answer is given in first pada. That is, Karya Indriya Indriyarthana Bhedat. There is Bheda of Karya, Indriya and Indriyartha. That is why there is Buddhi Beda. That is the reason for Buddhi Beda. This can be asked for assertion, reasoning kind of question. Okay. You have to remember that. Next slide, please. Next. Coming to the Rashi Purusha, this is well known concept. So reference can be asked, Rashi Purusha reference, or else dhatva, that is 24 tattva, tatvatmaka purusha is that is chaturvimshatika purusha is dash kind of purusha, that is Rashi Purusha. That you have to, this term you have to remember, and chaturvimshatika term also you have to remember. This can be asked for one liner kind of question. Next shloka they have told, rajastamobhyam yuktasya samyogo ayam anantavan. So this concept is also regarding Rashi Purusha. So in order for the Janma of Purusha, yeah, you need this thing, that is Rajotama Yukta only can be born as Rashi Purusha. So here what you have to remember is Rajastamobhyam Yuktasya is regarding what? Rashi Purusha. That is, next one is Apta Lakshana Rajastamobhya Nirmukta. This word difference you have to remember. Nirmukta and Yuktasya. When you say Yuktasya, you should know it is regarding Rashi Purusha. When you see Nirmukta, it is regarding Apta Lakshana. This term you have to remember. Next, that Rashi, this Purusha know what? Paramparya Chikitsa, he knows. Okay, he's have the jnana of Paramparya and Chikitsa. So this word will be asked as it is in the exam, that is Paramparya. So this term you have to remember, and it is related to Rashi Purusha. This also you have to remember. Next slide, please. Okay. So in further shloka, that is in from 39 to 48, you just have to go through the content only. Okay, nothing much is asked in the previous year question paper. Okay, next thing is conclusion given by Atreya. He says that karta, it is atma is karta, so that those terms you have to remember. Atma is what? Karta is related to what? Atma. Those terms you have to remember. Next question is, what is the origin of Purusha? That is, origin of Purusha is because of what? So it is moha icha dvesha karmajaha. This term will be asked. Moha icha dvesha karmajaha is related to what? Origin of Purusha. These two you have to remember. Next slide. Okay. Next question is about whether Atma is Jna or Agnya. Okay, for this you have to remember dash is Jnaha, that is Atma is Jnaha. That can be asked as one liner. Okay, the term Jnaha should be remembered, that is related to Atma. This you have to remember. Next, they have explained about Karana. Karta is Atma, whereas Karana is Mano, Buddhi, Buddhindriya, and Karmendriya. Then only there is Vedana Pravritti. So Purusha will get Vedana by the combination of what? That is Karana, Mano, Buddhi, Buddhindriya, and Karmendriya. So here what they can ask is Karana, number of Karana can be asked, or else what are Karana? Mano, Buddhi, Buddhindriya, and Karmendriya. These four terms you have to remember. Next slide. Next question is Purusha Nitya or Anitya? He is Nitya. So here Atma is Nitya, that is Anadi Purusha is Nitya, whereas Rashi Purusha is Anitya. These difference you have to remember. In the next shloka, they have explained the synonyms of Atma, that is Avyakta, Kshetragna, Shashvata, Vibhu, Atindriya. So these are the terms which are asked in previous year question paper. So you have to remember these are the synonyms of Atma. So here you have to remember one more thing, that is Manas is also considered as Atindriya. So this can be asked as statement type of questions also. For example, Atma is Atindriya, Manas is Atindriya. So then they can give that statement A is true, B is false, like that also they can ask statement kind of question. You have to remember both Atma and Manas are Atindriya. Next slide, please. So next question is what? What is Prakriti and Vikriti? This is also very important topic. That is, Prakriti are 8, Vikriti are 16. The number should be remembered. Okay. Next thing what is to be remembered is what are Prakriti? That is Pancha Tanmatra, Avyakta, Buddhi, Ahankara. Whereas Vikriti, Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, Manas and Indriyartha. These should be remembered. And Kshetragna is Atma. Kshetra is except that is Avyakta, that is Purusha. All the other things are considered as Kshetra. That should also be remembered. They can ask what kshetra is, what dash, they can give the option, they can give the option, or else they can ask what is kshetra, kshetragna, except avyakta, other things are considered kshetra, that is also to be remembered. So here the important thing is you have to remember the term. What is kshetra? You can make a list. Kshetragna, you can make a list. And kshetragna is also called as what? Like that also they can ask for one liner kind of question. Okay. Next slide, please. So here in Sharirasthana, they have told about Srishti Sarga, that is Udaya and Pralaya. So here they can ask the reference for Udaya and Pralaya in the Samhita. It is Charaka Sharirasthana, first chapter. So in these two, Udaya and Pralaya, what you have to remember is you have to remember which guna related to what. That is, Rajo and Tamo guna is related to Udaya, whereas Sattva guna Bahula is related to Pralaya. Next, the sequence should also be remembered. That is, when there is Rajo Tamayukta Atma, so there will be Avyakta to Vyakta, manifestation from Avyakta to Vyakta stage. Whereas in Pralaya, there will be manifestation from Vyakta to Avyakta state. So this sequence should also be remembered, and these two guna should also be remembered. Next slide, please. So here in eighth question, that is Avyakta Purusha Lakshana. So what you have to remember is these all are considered as Atma Lakshana. So among this, previously they have asked Indriyantara Sanchara. This term is related to dash, one-liner kind of question. So this is related to Atma. So like this, these three things they have asked. That is Indriyantara Sanchara, Deshantara Gati, Panchatva Grahana. So these terms are related to Atma. These things you have to remember. You have to remember all the Lakshana, but among those, these three are like unique kind of terms. So you have to remember it. Next is, in the next shloka, they have explained, after attaining Panchatva, the simile they have given, that is, Shunya Agaram Achetanam. When the Deha is like, when it does not have Chetana, it is resembling Shunya Agara. This simile can be asked for one liner. That is, Shunya Agara is related to what? That is Panchatva Gata. This should be remember. This can be asked for one liner kind of question. Okay. Next slide. So here, same paribhasha of Panchatva Grahana is given in which chapter? This reference can be asked. Referencing can be asked. So you have to remember it is Charaka Sharira, first chapter. So next question is, how does Atma do Kriya when he is Nishkriya? So here, what you have to remember is the terms related to Atma and Manas. Atma is Chetana, but he is Nishkriya, whereas Manas is Achetana, he is Kriya Yukta. These two terms should be remembered. That is, they can give like Chetana and Nishkriya is what? Dash. That is Atma. Achetana, Kriya Yukta is dash. That is Manas. These two should be remembered. Or else, like match the following also can be given, and statement kind of question can also be given. So you have to remember the terms related to Atma and Manas. Next slide, please. So next, 10th, 11th, 12th and 13th question, you have to study the question and the answer of which is given also, but there nothing much is asked in previous year question paper. Just you should know the content of the chapter. Next slide, please. Next, coming to the 14th question, among Kshetra and Kshetragna, which comes first? So this also you just have to just study the content. That's all. Nothing is much asked. Coming to the 15th question, that is, what is it of which the Purusha is considered as Sakshi? So here what you have to remember is Sakshi. The word Sakshi is related to dash, that is Atma. This you have to remember. Next question is, how avikari Atma will get jnana of Vishesha Vedana. So this you just have to study the content. Nothing much is asked. Next slide. Next question is 17th question. Out of three types of Vedana, which one is treatable by Chikitsaka? So here you have to remember there are three types of Vedana. That should be remembered. And chikitsaka can do the chikits of all the three types of vedana, that is atita kalina vedana, vartamana and bhavishyat kalina vedana. So here important term is bhavishyat kalina vedana, how it can be treated by doing naishtiki chikitsa. What is here important is the reference of naishtiki chikitsa can be asked. You should remember it is Charaka Sharira first chapter, and naishtiki is dash, it is vina upadha. These two terms you have to remember. Next slide. Okay. So this term, upada term should be remembered. Next, coming to the 20th question, that is, what is the karana for Vedana? So here everything is important. Okay, you have to remember this shloka, you have to remember 18th shloka, that is karana for Vedana. Dhi dhriti smriti vibhramsha sampraptihi kala karmanam asatmendriyartha gamascheti gnatavya dukkha hetavaha. This line you have to remember as it is. Karana for Vedana includes what? Dhi vibhramsha, dhriti vibhramsha and smriti vibhramsha, and kala and karma samprapti. All these things you have to remember. And next shloka is 99th shloka. They have given the lakshana of dhi vibhramsha. Dhi is also called as buddhi. These two synonyms should also be remembered. And coming to the lakshana, you have to remember the term, that is vishama abhinivesha of what? Nitya as anitya, hita as ahita. These terms you have to remember. Next is dhriti vibhramsha lakshana. So here the shloka you have to remember, the terms important are Vishaya Pravanam Sattvam and Niyamatmika. Dhriti is Niyamatmika, so this function is altered, that can be considered as Dhriti Vibhramsha. This you have to remember. Next slide. Next, Smriti Vibhramsha Lakshana. So here you have to remember first pada, that is Tattva Jnane Smritihi Yasya Rajo Moha Avrita Atmanaha. This pada they have asked in previous year exam question paper. This is related to Smriti Vibhramsha. Raja Moha Avrita Atma only undergoes Smriti Vibhramsha. That should be remembered. Next is, so all the three, Dhi, Dhriti, Smriti, Vibhramsha will is called as Pragnaparadha. This term you have to remember. And Pragnaparadha is what? It is Sarvadosha Prakopada. This also should be remembered. Here, one more important thing is Sushruta consider Diva Swapna as Tridosha Prakopaka. This also should be remembered. Diva Swapna as per Sushruta is Tridosha Prakopaka. In Charaka, Pragnaparada is Sarvadosha Prakopaka. Okay, this should be remembered. Next slide, please. Next, in Kala Samprapte, you have to remember Chaya Prakopa Prashama of all the three doshas. In which Kala, what doshas are undergoing Chaya, Prakopa and Prashama. This is like in previous question paper, that is after Jirna, Bhakta, Prajirna, Annakala, what all dosha Prakopa is seen, that is asked. Next, so here in Kala Samprapti in 113 shloka, the term Anye Dyushka and Dvayagrahi, though these two terms are related to what? Kala Samprapti. This is asked in previous year question paper. These two terms are important to be remembered. Next, they have given about Swabhavika Vyadi, Jara Mrityu, that should be remembered. Next slide. Next, so till 128th shloka, you just have to go through the content. Nothing much is asked. So the important thing is Aindriyaka is related. This term is related to Asatmendriyartha Samyoga. This is asked, so this should be remembered. Next, important thing is Karana for Vedana. So there is Chaturvida Yoga. Next slide, please. So there is Chaturvidha Yoga. So the term is very unique and important. This is asked many times in previous year question paper. The term Chaturvidha Yoga. What are four types of yoga responsible for Vedana? For Dukkha Vedana, so Chaturvidha Yoga are what? Mithya Yoga, Ati Yoga, Hina Yoga and Sama Yoga. These are Chaturvidha Yoga. Mithya Yoga, Ati Yoga, Hina Yoga leads to what? Dukkha. Sama Yoga leads to Sukha. These all terms should be remembered. Important term is Chaturveda Yoga. Next. Sukha and Dukkha Utpatti is because of what? Trishna, vice versa. These two terms, this is important. Next question is, what is the Adhishtana for Vedana? Vedana Adhishtana is dash. Mano Deha Sa Indriya. This should be remembered. Next, one important thing is, these are Vedana Adhishtana, not Roga Adhishtana. These should be remembered. Next question is, where do all the Vedana completely get merged? That is Nivritti of Vedana. That is Moksha. This term, the reference of this term is very important. The term Moksha comes like the definition of Moksha is given in first chapter of Charaka Sharira. That is this whole shloka you have to remember 137 shloka, and yoga is moksha pravartaka. This should be remembered. The word yoga is what? Moksha pravartakaha. This should be remembered. This is asked. Yoga is dash one liner question they have asked in previous year question paper. Next slide. So Vedana Nivritti occurs in two ways, that is through yoga and moksha. This is also asked. These terms should be remembered. Vedana Nivritti occurs through what? Yoga and moksha. Yoga leads to temporary cessation of Vedana, whereas moksha leads to permanent cessation. These terms are very important. Next slide. Next, yoga, the definition, Atmendriya Manoarthanam Sannikarshat Pravartate. So, this first pada, same shloka they have explained for the definition of Pratyaksha. Same shloka is given. So, the difference is in yoga there will be that is Manas will be sthira in Atma. This should be remembered. Manas is sthire. First pada should be remembered. Last terms are Manas is sthire. This should be remembered. This is related to yoga. Next, they have given Ashtavida Bala. After doing yoga, person will get Ashtavida Bala. What are those terms? That should be remembered. That is Avesha, Chetaso Jnana, Arthanam Chandata Kriya, Drishti, Shrotra, Spriti, Kanti, Ishtatahacha Api Adarsanam. So these terms, each and every term can be asked. That is Avesha is dash, whether it is Ashtavida Bala or else other terms can be asked. Okay, like one liner can be asked in Ashtavida Bala. And one more thing you have to remember, Ashtavida Bala is the reference of Ashtavida Bala is what? That is Charaka Sharira first chapter. One more thing is here in Charaka Sutra Sthana they have given Ashtavida Jnana Devata they have explained. Here it is Ashtavida Bala. These two difference you should know, and the reference also should be known. That is Ashtavida Jnana from Charaka Sutra first chapter, whereas Ashtavida Bala is given in Charaka Sharira first chapter. Next slide. Next. So here definition of moksha is given, and the term important which is to be remembered is it is apunarbhava. The term apunarbhava is related to dash, that is moksha. One liner can be asked. Next important thing is moksha prapti upaya. This is also given in which chapter the reference can be asked. So you have to remember it is Charaka Sharira first chapter. Next they have explained Smriti Karana. So here you have to remember each and every Karana for Smriti. So this shloka you have to remember completely. That is 148 and 149th shloka. Nimitta Rupa Grahanat, Sadrishyat, Sa Viparyayat. They can ask each individual term. Nimitta Rupa Grahanat is dash. It is Smriti Karana. Like this, they can ask each and every term. And one more thing is number also you should remember, that is 8. Smriti Karana are 18 number. One more thing is Pratyaksha Badakara Bhava are also 18 number. You have to remember what are Pratyaksha Badakara Bhava also and Smriti Karana. Both of them are 18 number, and you have to remember each and every term related to both. Okay, all those two can be asked for statement kind of question as well as one liner. Next is okay. Next slide. Charama Sannyasa. So this term is related. It is given in the reference can be asked in exam. So in previous they have asked the reference for the term Charama Sannyasa. It is first chapter, that is Charaka Sharira first chapter. So next, lastly they have explained Prashanta Bhutatma Lakshana. This you just have to go through it. So here ends first chapter of Sharira Sthana. Ityagnivesh Krite Tantre Charaka Prati Samskrite Sharira Sthane Katidha Purushiyam Sharira Nama Prathamo Adhyaya. So here the important thing is what? First is what this chapter deals with, that you have to remember. And few things compare it for comparative study. You have to compare it with Sushruta as well as Darshana, that is Sankhya Darshana and Yoga Darshana. These things can be read for comparative study, so that you can just clear the concept in which is present in first chapter, and you can just know which are the important topics are there, and what is the comparison, that is which can be asked for statement kind of question. According to Charaka what, according to Sushruta what, that can be asked. So you have to study what Charaka Sharira first chapter with Yoga Darshana, Sankhya Darshana and Sushruta Samhita. So here ends first chapter, and I thank Dr. Vishwanath for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge, and thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Actually, to sum up the whole the like all the chapters from the Sharira Sana, it's not that easy. So it was actually a nice presentation, like you have presented with crisp, clear concepts. Like actually, when it comes to Charaka Samhita, the difficult part with the Charaka Samhita is its philosophical interpretations. Unlike the Sushita Samhita, many of the philosophical interpretations are explained from Charaka, especially when we go into the first chapter, second chapter, and third chapter. So those things are much more having the explanations of the philosophical understanding. And also, when it comes to the subject integration, like Padartha Vijnana, the topics of the Padartha Vijnana. So these things can be asked from this chapter. So you have given a very clear and crisp knowledge regarding the principles explained in the first chapter. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello, Dr. Anupama.
Yeah, as we conclude this session, I extend heartfelt gratitude to our guest speaker, Dr. Pooja ma'am, for sharing her valuable knowledge. And this brings us close to the second webinar in this Pramati Ayurveda series. Stay tuned for next upcoming sessions. Thank you one and all.
Thank you.